Hi, my name's Jason. I'm here to help you sell more cars so you can make more money by booking more appointments over the phone, and the 2 mistakes to avoid that every salesperson makes. The most important part of the phone call is understanding the outcome of the call itself. Your goal is to get paid. The only way you can get paid is by booking that appointment. Once you understand the actual outcome of the call itself, you have to understand how long it should take you to make a phone call. Realistically, anything less than 3 minutes will not give you the chance to build the rapport that you actually need to have the client come in. It's very possible that you get to the end of that phone call, they say that they will actually come in, and they don't show up, because who in their right mind remembers a 3-minute phone call? 3 to 5 minutes is an okay call. That means you've spent enough time building rapport, the client might remember you, and if you do the next steps correctly, hopefully they come in. Best case scenario, you are 5 to 8 minutes per phone call. At 5 to 8 minutes, you've had a really good opportunity to build rapport with the client, get to know them a little bit, listen, respond, maybe make a joke or two, so that they're a lot more likely to actually come in. What I recommend is while you're doing these phone calls, time yourself, and as you end the phone call, your goal should be to get somewhere between 5 and 8 minutes. You'll notice it's really easy to book appointment in 3 if you don't follow the following steps. 3 to 5, once you get in the hang of it, and 5 to 8, okay, that's where you make the Benjamins. The second most important part of this is understanding how to overcome that client's desire to hang up on salespeople as soon as they pick up the phone. It's very, very simple. Don't sound like a salesperson. If you pick up a phone and somebody says, "Hello, is Mr. and Mrs. Smith there?" you're probably gonna hang up that call because you know it's a salesperson. But if somebody picks up the call and goes, "Hey John, how you doing? Haven't talked to you in a while," you're probably gonna think it's somebody that you know that you haven't talked to in a while. You need to mirror them. So if they're excited and they sounds like there's a lot going on in the background, say, "Hello," you answer the phone. "Hey Bob, how are you doing?" Okay? If they're very quiet and they answer the phone and it sounds like they're in a library and they go, "Hello," you do not respond with that same energy. You now mirror them. "Hi Bob, how are you doing? What's going on?" You need to instantly match their energy, very quickly make that transition, insert their name right away so that, again, you can overcome their immediate reaction to get you to stop. Once you've matched their energy levels, the next thing that you need to do is explain who you are and ask for permission to continue by asking a no-based question like, "Have I got you at a bad time?" If you say, "Have I got you at a bad time?" and people are wired to say no to salespeople, they will tell you no, which in this case actually means yes. So the call goes a little bit like this. Bob picks up the phone. "Hello." I answer, "Hey Bob, it's Jason. How are you doing?" He says, "I'm doing great." "Awesome. Hey, it's Jason at," insert the name of your dealership here. "Did I catch you at a bad time?" Bob says no, and then you can continue the conversation and go from there. It's scripted, it's the exact same way every single time, and I guarantee people will now not hang up on you and allow you to continue talking. Sometimes after you introduce yourself, clients will say it is actually a bad time and that they will call you back. You need to quickly stop them and say, "No problem. Hey, just before I let you go, are you still interested in the car?" It would shock you how many people will say, "Actually, no, I'm not interested." And you say, "Okay, no problem." And then you delete them out of their CRM. This will save you a ton of follow-up time for somebody who just doesn't feel like it's okay for them to say no. Just let them know that it's okay to just say no. Step 3 is build rapport and gather information. The only way to get a phone call to this 3 to 8 minutes is making sure you build rapport. Of course, you're gonna gather information, ask lots of questions, but you want to sprinkle lots of things in there where you're actually gonna find common ground so that they get to like you. Because nobody's gonna come in to see somebody they don't actually like. So here is just rapport and info. When people feel heard and they like the person they're talking to, they're gonna be a lot more likely to reciprocate by coming in for that appointment so that you later can get paid. Number 4 is booking the appointment. When you're booking the appointment with somebody, you're going to hit them with something called either or questions. An either or question is where you provide two answers to your question. So for example, hey Bob, would you like to come in for the appointment earlier this week or later in the week? If he says later in the week, you say, okay, are you thinking like Thursday, Friday, or are you thinking the weekend? You can see he can only choose Thursday, Friday, or the weekend. Once the client picks the day, you now have to establish the time. What I like to say is, are you more of a morning person or do you prefer to come in the afternoon? If somebody says afternoon, I'm gonna hit them with, now are you thinking early afternoon or late afternoon? And this is very important, you have to hit quarter hours. Never book something at 2 o'clock or 2:30, because mentally, when somebody books something at 2 o'clock, that means sometimes between 2 and 3. So you wanna book it like it's a dentist's office, specifically on the quarter hours. Mr. Customer, I'm looking at my times, and in your head, you're thinking it's gonna be somewhere around 3 o'clock, and you have to give yourself an hour and a half window, otherwise the appointment times don't really make sense. Between 2:15 or 3:45. Which one works better for you? When you're doing your either or questions to find that appointment, and you've gotten to the times now, what I like to do personally, and it's a little bit cheeky, but it makes me laugh, is when I'm saying, let me check my schedule. So morning, afternoon, okay, afternoon, let me check my schedule. I will take my phone from my ear, put it to my keyboard, and make typing noises on the keys really loudly so that it looks like I'm actually checking my schedule. This is just something I like to do. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. You don't have to do it. I mentioned earlier in the video, there's a couple things that prevent salespeople from having clients come in for their appointment. The first one is by ending the call as soon as they confirm the appointment. What you want to do is take that call an additional 30 seconds to 1 minute past the final confirmation by explaining to the customer things like where to park and what next steps are going to be. So Mr. Customer, when you come in, there's going to be customer parking on the left. When you walk in the main door, you're going to see the reception desk. If I'm not standing right there for our appointment, just ask the receptionist. She'll point you off to the left. That's where I'm sitting. I'll see you at that time. The second thing they forget to do is send a confirmation text message with the address. Especially if you're like me and you work in a big auto group, there's 3 of my stores in a 1 kilometer stretch on the highway. If I don't text them my address, it's very possible they go to the other store and I lose out on a sale. The easiest way to do this is by sending a direct Google Maps link to their phone over text. When you're sending that, you're also going to confirm the appointment time. The last thing people forget to do is actually confirm their appointment. The easiest way to do this, send them a simple text message. Most people will send you a thumbs up back or something along those lines. So just to recap, we're understanding the outcome of the call is to book the appointment. You're keeping your call from 3 minutes to 8 minutes. You're starting your phone call very jovial and light, like a long lost friend, not hanging up the phone as soon as you book the appointment, sending that confirmation text, and doing your 12-hour follow-up. By doing all of these things, I guarantee more clients will come into your store so that you can make more money.